Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another PlateUp Halloween update tutorial. Now, in today's tutorial, we're going to be going over soup. Now, I have a pumpkin soup tutorial out there already. This one can be, what I'm going to show you today is mainly for meat and for carrot, as they don't require any extra work to them. You can put them in whole. You don't have to chop them. You can, but it's not necessary. When you're dealing with pumpkin soup, you have to cut the pumpkin, take the seeds out, and you have to chop it up. So it's a bit more involved. So please head over and just search my name as well as, pumpkin soup tutorial if you want to watch that. Now, tomato soup, there is a tutorial on tomato soup from pre-release back in August, which still holds true today. You could modify it to fit your needs using the new corner grabbers. But this one, the tomato soup won't fit this design. Now, again, I will show a little bonus here. Say a bonus is that there will be a bit of an extreme soup automation tutorial coming out in the next few days, where I use teleporters to automate all the soups. So it'll be something to see. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, today we're going to be doing meat soup for demonstration. This could be meat or carrot, does not matter. Both of them are set up exactly the same way. So without further ado, let's get this set up. Now, as I'm going through this, I will say this is what I've found to be the quickest setup, or the quickest producing as far as soups go. Now, you can make, this is going to end up being a 5x4 design. Now, there is a 4x4 design, which I also created, but it takes about 40 seconds to get the first dish of soup out. This one, you get it in about 20 to 22 seconds, which, I mean, usually 20 or 20 seconds, like that's plenty of time for you to get your customers in, but nonetheless, and you may have seen, things may look like I'm just kind of shoving things in random spots here, which I kind of am, but I also have this kind of memorized how to lay this out. And the corner grabbers, like I said, with the way corner grabbers work in general is that you go into practice mode, you set them how you want. You go out of practice mode, you can set them during the day. So these are all preset because I had this design already pre-made. What makes this a bit different than a 4x4 is you see this thing. This is a smart grabber. And the reason why you have the smart grabber here is, well, two reasons. One is if you don't, the water will cycle, water with the onion will cycle around into here, and it'll cook once, and then it'll cycle back around to get the meat from here. It doesn't do it in one action because regular grabbers pull after the cooking action is completed, and that overrides the quickness in the sense of how a combiner puts something into it when it's on a hob. Pies work similar like that. So, well, a couple things work like that, mainly pies, but if to make this, you can't make this any more compact without, well, you can't make it work any better without making it less compact. And I like making compact designs. The only other way around it would be to have the meat facing here, but it still has to cycle around. But anyway, nonetheless, it does not matter. You will see why in a minute. And again, this is using all three pots. There is a bit of a glitchiness, which you will see over here, that some of them sometimes don't take the onion right away. Or sure, they'll take the water and the onion won't get put in right away. It's just how the way the ticks work for these corner grabbers are a little bit different than how the regular grabbers work or have worked. So yeah, anyway, so this works, put it this way. And the reason why, again, you have the smart grabber is because what will happen is your pot will go in, it'll get the onion over there, it'll cook its first phase, and it'll wait. Because this smart grabber is set to pulling off an empty pot, but it has broth in it. Because remember, when you do soup, you only have to make one broth, which saves a lot of time, especially if you only have one soup. And because soup isn't gated behind anything anymore, you have carrot soup, meat soup, tomato soup, pumpkin soup. They're not gated behind each other anymore. So you could get any soup at any time, which is why having a compact design like this would really work. Now, again, if you'd end up having two, say you have meat and carrot, you'd have to modify this design. The concept is similar, and you could easily do it, but nonetheless, that's not what this tutorial is about. So this is basically the setup. Now, these two items here, even the portioner really, but the portioner fits within the 4x5 square. So I always have a portioner. It's just so much faster for soup. Again, having a prep station, a frozen prep station, etc., or a grabber here, this is extra. This is not, wouldn't be part of the mandatory or the needed items, but for this demonstration, most people also will have a prep station for soup in some fashion, or at least I would, because I love having prep stations for soup, especially frozen prep stations. Anyway, this is basically the design. So you're using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 corner grabbers, 1 smart grabber, a danger hob, a sink, 3 combiners, 1 for the water, 1 for the onion, 1 for the meat. Now, someone will say, well, can't you run the onion into this? Yes, you can, but again, the way the ticks work with this, it doesn't pull, it sometimes doesn't put the onion in it with the water every time. It just doesn't. So, and again, if you have this facing like into here, you're not saving any space, right? It's all about having compact, making things compact. So I'd rather run it to be compact because you're not changing anything, because you still need this combiner here, and each block, each square thing only has 4 sides where you can input or output. These here are all used at this point, so it wouldn't matter if you'd have an onion going onto here or not. It wouldn't change the footprint, so why not add a couple extra things to almost guarantee it to work? Well, it worked the first time. Now, again, like I said, there is a bit of trickery. Sometimes it skips over here as far as putting water in it, but let's hope it doesn't today. So let's go into our practice mode. Again, practice mode, you hit escape or whatever the key is for your controller, maybe start or select. Go into practice mode, and you hit enter. Mine's enter for the keyboard. Now you watch. Now the onion's ready to go. The meat's ready to go here. Boom, water. Boom, onion. Now again, you see how it's instant, almost like the onion's being put in over here when it's the first pot. I want to run through that one more time just to catch it. So watch here. As soon as this pot has water in it here, the onion's in it. And like I said, that all has to do with how the ticks, like the tick speed of the corner grabbers work. So it almost looks like this combiner is shoving an onion past this corner grabber into the pot. It's a split second thing how it works, but it's just watch it is what I'm getting at. Right here it comes. It's going to be instantly thrown in there as soon as the water hits it. Boom. So that's typically not how it's supposed to work, but again, how like the tick speed is what I call it, of how the corner grabbers work. They're a bit extreme, like they're a bit off as far as how quickly they interact with things. But for this design, again, you have the smart grabber here because this is only have a 1 cooking cycle. It cooks the broth cycles over across, boom, gets filled up, and then you're ready to go. So this system right here will output 9 portions of soup. Before, I want to try to move some of these just so it kind of cycles through all of them. I'm kind of running out of space here. So it will cycle through all of them just to show you how, actually I'm kind of out of space. So as it is. And then, yeah, we'll be okay now because I want to show you what happens when you get to that next phase. And something like that. Ignore that went under there. Just ignore that because I tried to put it somewhere else. Never mind. Ignore the soup went underneath that grabber, by the way. So we're ready. We're on the 3rd pot now. So just want to take this last one off. And I can't put it anywhere else. We're just going to hold it here. Now we're on, see how much faster that one cooks? The second broth cooks so much faster. And then that's basically where we're back to now. This will cycle out now. I'm out of places to put things. But nonetheless, that's how you do it. Let's get out of practice mode here. Now, some of you, I can tell already, are saying, why don't you do it like this and this and this? And you know what? You can adapt this however you want. This is my staple of how to have the fastest soup possible within the smallest footprint. Remember, this is a 4x5 with only, we have 1 and you have 2 dead spaces down here, but it's a 4x5, and you could make this longer and set it up differently, like over here. I don't think you could do it in a 2x2 or a 2 wide area with this amount of ingredients. But again, this is just the way this map is set up. This is my blog map, which is how I do all my tutorials, and it just makes sense because it has a large space like this. But anyway, we'll cycle it one more time. You can watch while I wrap this up. Now again, if this is carrot, it'd be the same thing. If it'd be meat, it'd be the same exact thing as well. Pumpkin, it'd be a bit different, and then obviously tomato would be a bit different yet. But again, go to YouTube and you type in tomato soup, The Ontario Gardener, pumpkin soup, The Ontario Gardener, and you'll get my videos. Should probably be the first one that pops up, or to search through my playlists, or it's on my channel. And just if you go to the search bar in my channel, and you can type in any sort of automation you're looking for. If you go in, once you hit my channel and you go into the search bar, under my videos. You can search every single video I have. I have tons of automation videos, older ones that still work today. I don't believe there's any videos that I have out tutorial wise, except maybe the initial coffee using one machine that may be a bit broken, but I've yet to try that out with a new update. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me. If you're enjoying the content, please consider leaving me a subscribe. I'm getting so close to my next goal. And yeah, I love the support from everybody. You guys have been all so nice and so generous. If there's any type of automation that you'd like to see from me that I haven't covered yet, just leave it in the comment below, or you can reach me on Discord, the Ontario Gardener, under the PlateUp Discord, or you can search my own, or just find me on Discord as well. And as always, please consider leaving me a like or a comment if you enjoyed the video. I always respond to all my commenters either with a thumbs up, a heart, or a comment, personalized comment right back to you guys. So I love interacting with my fans and my supporters, because without you people, I wouldn't be here today. Which sounds like people say when they're receiving an Oscar. Gotta have a little bit of comedy with my videos. You know how it works, guys. All right, thanks you guys so much for joining me. Let's get out of practice mode. So if you want to take a screenshot of this and copy my design, which that's why I make these tutorials for you, to copy my designs and make them fit your game. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Take care now.